I'm Helen Ford Wallace with Parties Extra on News OK. Kanela Huff, Pam Smith, and Rawsie Boyles are here today to tell us about Pam's birthday, which is always at Kanela's house, and Rawsie cooks very fabulous lobsters, which are served with all the trimmings. Hello, Kanela, Pam, and Rawsie. Welcome.
Hello.
Thanks, Helen.
Kanela, this party is your birthday club, but this is the month that you all have a very different party, and you order your lobsters. Tell us how that came about.
We've been trying to think about that for a long time. Our group originated 30 years ago, so this was our 30th anniversary, but we've come from the dirty lunch Santa bunch up to being more sophisticated ladies and serving lobster.
In the winter.
In the winter, which I know. So we've come from dirty Santa to rummy cube to Russian rummy to now just a birthday club, which we have a blast with. So the lobsters originated because Rawsie is originally does Maine in the summer, and she came in, and for some reason we don't know exactly how we got into doing lobsters, but we love it.
Well, I thought maybe because Pam loved them, so I didn't know.
Do you love them, Pam?
My birthday. I'm sure I requested it.
I'm sure you did too.
Well, everyone else chooses where they go to lunch. What other places have you been to?
Oh, golly, we go anywhere from La Baguette to the Metro to Deep Fork to
All the local
1492.
restaurants. We try to support them all.
Or new restaurants, and as we like to do, if we hear about a new place, it's a good excuse for all of us to go try out a new restaurant.
Every month. So you do this birthday club every single month.
month.
How many of them are you?
There are 11 of us.
11 of you. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Everybody chooses their restaurant.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect.
And I choose lobster.
And she hasn't changed her mind in the last 12
15
years.
years.
Over 15 years. That's right.
Okay, well, do you decorate your house for this lobster party, or do you decorate for the holidays, or how do you do it?
I love to decorate. So we start out that I decorate for Christmas. And you and I talked about earlier that this year I had lots of fun because my grandchildren helped me decorate. I'm normally the perfectionist, but it was fun this year that the kids came in and helped decorate. But then when it comes to lobster lunch, then I get Rawsie and a couple of the other cronies to come down, and we have to do all sorts of lobster, i.e. you might see here on our table that we have.
They brought some for us to look at.
Right.
Awesome.
So we have been collecting this lobster paraphernalia for the last 12 or 14 years.
But Kanela, your Christmas decorations are to die for. You have every room, every piece of furniture, I don't know what all you have. Tell them about your candy bar.
Well, now that we have to go to Rawsie. You speak about this. This is a signature thing that Rawsie has started doing for several of her clients. You tell about that, and then I'll tell about my decorations.
Well, what I like to do is, because there's so many wonderful candies in the stores, everything from the dime stores up to the gourmet shops, is I like to try to take pieces that my client has, either it be old American glass, silver, crystal, and make an area where you mix and match different Christmas candies, and usually with a Santa. I love the chocolate gold coins scattered around, and you make that kind of a combination of candy, but also a collection that the hostess, that your client has, the things that mean something to her.
Well, did you have some birthday candy for Pam's birthday?
Yeah, did you?
Actually, it was red and green.
Well,
we had cookies, sugar cookies.
We had cookies.
Yeah. So
Her daughter makes the best sugar cookies. I take them down to Dallas for my grandchildren, and they think that,
they are wonderful.
They're Santa's cookies. And so every year they think that I think I made them. I never tell them any different. And Santa Claus eats the cookies every night, and they're thrilled. And
well, I just think
they're
it's
the
a
best
cool
cookies in the
birthday. I like the birthday part of it. I think that's a good way to celebrate, and
We have a lot of tradition.
You really do.
And like if I go to Maine in the summer, then I'll see something in a store in Maine, and I'll bring it back, and then it becomes part of our
Decor.
December
How about
Christmas.
lobster plates? How about lobster
Lobster
forks,
plates,
crackers?
lobster, the buttered warmers.
That a dear friend Tina Stubbs gave me
Yeah,
for my birthday a couple of years ago.
We had aprons for a long time. We all forget to bring them.
They're
We
very
have our lobster aprons.
Lobster Christmas ornaments.
Lobster Christmas ornaments that Sherry brought a couple of years ago. We've collected, I go to estate sales, and we've collected some fun antique lobster plates and dishes that we use.
And then, of course, Kanela and Judy Limbeck had to get nice linens, which I tried to explain. In Maine, we put newspaper out on the table. We use dish towels for napkins, but oh no, our December lobster luncheon, we have lovely napkins and placemats that have to be hand washed and ironed.
That, of course, have lobsters on them.
Yes, they're lobster.
And the reason Rawsie doesn't like that's because she's a designated linen cleaner.
It's my birthday. I don't have to do anything.
That is the best part.
I know.
She doesn't even
awesome.
have to pay.
That is awesome too.
I know.
Well, Rawsie, tell us
They don't
about
even
these
ask my age
lobsters.
either.
Do you go to Maine? Does and you know how to cook them? And do you steam them? Do you boil
steam them.
You steam them.
Years and years ago, and I don't know if you remember this, but I'm sure you do, but the Symphony used to fly in lobsters.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like 35 years ago, and we all would order our lobsters and get together in groups. And I was with a large group of people, and we ordered lobsters, and I threw them all in a big pot, and the water wouldn't boil and wouldn't boil and wouldn't boil. And I called my mother, who was in Maine, and I just said, how do I time this? Because I don't know when the water won't boil. And I have never boiled lobsters since. I have steamed them because you get the water steaming, you put your lobsters in there, you add a little shot of vodka just to make them happy. You put the lid on and hold it on tightly so they can't escape.
And they're alive. I saw them kicking around.
Yeah, you want them alive. If they're not alive, you don't eat them. You don't cook them. But then once it reaches a full broth, it's 11 minutes, and you take them off, drain them, crack them, and eat
Mine
them.
was so big, I know he took longer.
How big are they?
They run anywhere from 1.25 pounds to probably 1.75 pounds.
Mine was
A
2
large
pounds.
one would be close to 2 pounds.
Everyone said yesterday those were some of the largest we've had.
Yeah.
Well, do everybody else bring a dish or what?
No, there's only a couple of people. As Pam mentioned, my daughter always brings the sugar cookies.
And she gets a lobster for that.
She does. It's a great trade-off we have. I mean, we were still in the bartering system.
Well, you have someone helping you clean up. She gets a lobster too.
She does. Josephine. Well, we couldn't do this without Josephine, so she gets a plug. But nobody needs to know about her. I get her all to myself. But Barbara Dank normally does our potatoes. She wasn't able to be there yesterday, but she does that. Brookie does our green beans.
Don't forget Sue, though. She helps cook the lobster.
Oh, well, Sue
and
cooks.
Sue
Always. Sue Magnus, who
She's
always
She flies
comes
in
long
from
distance.
Dallas.
She flies from
in.
Dallas
Don't
now.
forget her because
She's the sous chef with Rawsie. And then we always have to have Judy's Syrian salad recipe, her dressing. So
those are traditional things.
these are all
Tradition.
traditional things.
And you have them every year.
Absolutely.
And when you crack those lobster and bring them to the table, they're ready to go.
Well, you have to do a little bit of work
What do
yourself.
you have to do?
You have to, I crack the big claws and I twist the body from the tail. And I'm nice enough now these days I take the tail out of the shell and put it separately.
She did mine.
But you have to crack and separate the arm joints, and that's the sweetest meat, and pick it out and eat it. So I don't do all the work. I make you work a little bit for your lobster.
99% you do.
Well, where do you get these lobsters?
Well, we get them in different places.
You fly them in from...
No, we go through local merchants,
Uh-huh.
and we make arrangements because you would hate to show up and have one lobster in the tank. And so we have gone through Homeland, and this year we did a market on Classen that Judy Limbeck made the arrangements for. And so
they were excellent this year.
we do buy them locally. They're the same. Actually, I haven't seen the difference of the lobsters that I buy. I'm about 45 miles from the coast in Maine, and I think if they're flown in, they're as fresh here and in these tanks here as they are in Maine.
That's awesome.
And this was the Asian market, what I call the
Yeah.
palm tree market.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
And
and they were wonderful.
also
They
have
were
good crab
incredible.
and everything, and it's very, very good.
So it was a successful
Very
birthday.
successful.
Absolutely.
Well, Kanela, you also have your company's holiday party this week. Tell
I
us how you
do.
decorate for that. Do you have to take all the lobsters down?
And I've already done that this morning. The lobsters went away, and now I've done a real traditional. You asked me earlier, like, do I change each year on my decorations? And I try to. For years, I've kind of done the lime green and so forth. This year, I decided I'm into my polka dot year. So all my kids get different papers, and all my papers are polka dot, all my ribbons polka dot. And the tables this year are kind of a really pretty satin, silky, deep reds and so forth for the company party tomorrow. So.
Well, I seem to remember that you decorate your swimming pool too. Any lobsters swimming around out there?
It's a little too chilly, or we would have had some out there.
But you do. Do you have decorations all? I mean, there was a Santa doing something out there, a reindeer
Yes,
or
there's
something.
there's a reindeer outside, a big blow up Santa and the reindeer. The Santa coming out of the chimney, and a huge, about 5-foot wreath out on my back. And this year I've actually put out a 6-foot Christmas tree out on my back patio. That's a new addition this year of my Christmas trees.
You just love the holidays.
I love the holidays.
I asked her daughter if there was one room in this house that is not decorated, and she thought for a minute. She said, the laundry room, and I said, I'll take care of that next year.
Well, I think that one time we talked on a podcast about how you decorate everything. And how do you remember what you've done the year before?
Well, I don't necessarily, and it is much more fun to mix it up than to have it exactly the same. And this year, it really is a lot different than it's been in the past. I've done a few new things at my house this year, and actually Rawsie is really good. She always helps me with my decorating, and as I said, this year my grandkids, that was about as much fun as I've had on a Saturday morning, that they kind of came in and they
Use their animals.
Did their things. My 3-year-old grandson did his snowman room. My 9-year-old granddaughter did an angel tree and a teddy bear tree, and she actually decorated my martini bar too. So that's pretty. I hated to tell her mother that, but she did. It was pretty cute. But so it's not always the same. It's more fun when it's not the same. So.
Right. Well, anything else about lobsters?
Not that I can think of.
Pam, about birthdays?
No.
Uh-huh.
It was very, very nice, as is every year. And
Well, thanks, Pam and
Another year older.
Kanela and Rawsie, for telling us about the yummy lobsters. They're always cooked to perfection. And Pam, happy birthday and Merry Christmas to all.
Thanks,
Merry
Helen.
Christmas to you.
Let's see it.